What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 515 Sports Podcast on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Bierman alongside with my boy, as always, Chase Winterbore. And Chase, our team, Iowa State, they had a bye week. So I got to enjoy a little bit more of the entertainment side and just kind of enjoy a weekend slate of college football. I'm not going to lie. The weekend was a lot better than I would have expected going into the week. I was like, these were some interesting matchups, but not necessarily games I was 100% looking forward to. And then it actually turned out to be a really, really fun weekend. So hopefully, when we transition over to talking about the week 4 slate, hopefully we get a similar thing, because I'm not going to lie, week 4 is not looking too good.
Yeah, no, it actually was some pretty good games. I know Brock and I chatted like a little bit throughout the weekend, so we already talked a little bit about it, but we'll definitely recap it again here. So, yeah, I'm hoping you're also going to be right, Brock. Just kind of looking here at week 4. I mean, I don't know. We got some solid matchups, but, nothing probably. Like, what's the one date? Like, October 12th, I think, is what everyone knows. Like,
yeah,
that day is absolutely loaded. So, it won't be anything like that. But hopefully, yeah. Last week, coming for a conference game start up. So, hopefully, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I am so excited for that. Honestly, the month of October, once it hits October, it's like all these banger of games start showing up. It's always fun, and it's going to be a fun one, especially on that weekend of the 12th, I think, that you mentioned. But as you can see from the headlines, we got some games that we're going to want to definitely hit on. Georgia, are they human? I mean,
I guess.
In the regular season, they seem to be untouchable for the last 2 years. I think they're on, a 41, 42 now game win streak in the regular season, which is very impressive, whether or not you want people want to admit it. But they sneak out a very close one against a Kentucky team I don't think a lot of people thought that would be able to hang with Georgia.
Yeah. Yep. Dude. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. I'm gonna get so off topic tonight, but heads up. But yeah. No, it's so weird. I don't know if you watched any of the Kentucky game like the week before when they played your Cox.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, like that was the worst looking team I've ever seen in my life.
And then they turn around.
Yes, like it makes zero sense. I could not believe I was watching, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the heck got into them, or maybe it was just Georgia being awful too. But yeah, that definitely surprised me.
Kentucky went from beating Southern Miss 31-0 to losing to South Carolina 31-6 to losing to number 1 Georgia by exactly 1 point, 13-12. What a weird start to a season for anybody, let alone Kentucky, who Kentucky's been kind of more consistent of the winning side of things, at least in the last couple of years.
Yep.
I was shocked that this game was even close. I honestly only watched the fourth quarter just because I saw it was close. I was watching some other games, and I don't know. Did you watch much of this game?
Yeah, so I kind of mostly watched like the second half just because shout out sister getting engaged, so got to throw that in there. Congratulations. Yep, give it up. So I only got to probably watch the second half, but I don't know. The game, just how the game was going, I was kind of watching other games, because I'm not really trying to watch a Big Ten West football game. So no offense to anyone out there, but yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of tuning in back and forth, but yeah.
Was there anything that stood out to you about this game? Because I mean, stat wise, both quarterbacks didn't necessarily have amazing games. Beck only had 160 yards passing, and then was it Vandegrift or something like that? Is that how you pronounce his name? 114 yards. And then the run game, I mean, Kentucky handled the run game more than Georgia, which actually shocks me because, Georgia's got Etienne, and you'd think that he'd be able to dominate on the ground, had less rushing yards than Kentucky's leading rusher. Was there anything that stood out to you? Do you think Georgia – I know Georgia dropped in the polls. I think Texas is now the number 1 team in the country, which we can hit on that as well. But is there any cause for concern from Georgia from this matchup, or is it just kind of a weird situation where they got caught slipping, almost similar to like them versus Missouri? Was it last year or the year before where it was a close game?
I remember that game. Yeah, where they almost lost at Mizzou. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question because I really believe that Kentucky has a good defense. So I'm not really super surprised that Georgia's struggling on offense. Like, obviously, you would think that they should put up more points, I think they're also still trying to, figure out these new pieces on offense, losing Brock Bowers and why am I drawing a blank?
Oh shoot.
Or what's his last name? You know who I'm talking about. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. Their wide
I'm blanking too.
Yep. But yeah, I think losing those two pieces, I mean, that's a big loss, man. So I think they're still just trying to figure out, their identity on offense. Long season, a win is a win for them, but I think there is a little bit of concern. But I don't think it's anything too big. I think I know we talked about it like last episode, but I think Michigan is way more of in a stage of concern than Georgia, obviously. So
yeah, they probably need to figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out if they're gonna want to turn their season around. Was it? It wasn't McConkey, was it?
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why I could not think of his last name.
Yeah, Lad.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, and that's what you get with this kind of program where you're winning consistently. Turnover over to the NFL is going to happen a lot, and so by the time someone's going to the NFL, someone that was probably a sophomore is going to be a junior the following year, and they're going to be amazing for 1 year, or they're freshmen, so they're going to only have 2 years at Georgia. So by the time their turnover isn't the transfer portal, their turnover is they're always producing talent that's going to the NFL. So they're always having a different look on their roster every year, depending on, of course, how good the talent is and how quickly they develop them. So it was a close game for Georgia. The other game, obviously, in our title of our podcast for this episode is South Carolina versus LSU, which might have been, I hope not, because it's so early in the season, might have been the game of the year.
Dude, yeah, that game was I was at work, obviously, like every Saturday, but yeah, I got home and watched. I think I tuned in actually only to the second half, and dude, that game was electric. I did you get to watch the first half?
I watched the first half and had a blast watching the Gamecocks absolutely just run all over the LSU defense.
Yeah,
and which is funny because I didn't think the Cowks really had an amazing rushing attack, at least for the first couple games. So they kind of turned it around.
Plus, I mean, I should have known too, man, when they dropped 31 at Kentucky. I should have known, man, that they were for real. But yeah, no, that was very impressive. Plus, like, dude, honestly, like, I know you said it, but like they literally should have won that game. If
there's no reason that they shouldn't be 3-0 right now, and LSU shouldn't be 1-2.
They should have.
But at the same time, when I sent you a text, obviously, that said that LSU got lucky, blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's the SEC. Anything can happen at any point, and you need to win those games. You're up. What? They were up 17-0 at one point, 21-0.
Yeah, I literally saw that. I was like, oh, GG's, man. That's over.
And I just can't believe that South Carolina blew that because they had everything handed to them at the beginning. And it looked, I mean, they had a 66-yard run, a 75-yard run, all for touchdowns by their offense. So you would think that 21-0 at home, college game days there against a ranked opponent, and you're getting whatever you want from the offense, you're going to win this game. And unfortunately, for me at least, not for you, because you got that game of the week pick correct. But LSU came back and 2 touchdowns from Durham, the running back, who also had 98 yards on the ground. Their offense turned it around quickly, and credit to them for being able to get the win at the end.
Yeah, what'd you think about that pick 6 that got called back?
I'm trying to remember when that was because I don't.
It was like what was it, third, fourth quarter? It was like late in the game, but like basically, LSU threw a pick in the end zone, and then like I think it was like one of the defensive linemen just blew up the quarterback, and then they called it back. Yeah.
Dude, I've watched so much football this weekend. Every game like is mushed together.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Well, I should have told you before, and we could have showed the clip, but next week.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, next week if we got a controversial call, we'll definitely.
We'll clip it. Yeah.
But credit to LSU getting a big win, and they're one of the teams I do kind of have respect for because they do try to schedule tough opponents outside of conference. So good win for them in conference. But now, since we've covered those 2 games that were the ones on our name of our episode. Let's talk about pretty much everything else that went around college football, at least the ones that kind of stood out the most. Shout out my underdog of the week, UNLV, coming out on top of Kansas.
I'm not gonna lie. Have you missed an underdog?
I'm trying to remember the ones I've had because I had UNLV.
You just take UNLV every week, dude.
I took UNLV twice now, right?
Yeah.
UNLV versus Houston, UNLV versus Kansas. Who was my week 2?
Drawing a blank.
Let's look back at
who was brought. No,
let's look back because I know it was.
Wait. I just had it.
Shoot.
Who was it? I'm lost.
I don't remember. I don't. Was it? It wasn't Tulane, was it? No.
Did you have a week 2 dog, Brock? Oh, that's right. We can find it later.
We'll figure it out. But no, UNLV is now 2-0 for me for my picks.
Dude,
but
keep taking them.
Kansas looked lost, man.
Yeah, I could probably talk about that game for a little bit. Did you end up watching that game then?
No, I was calling a football game at Ballard.
Oh,
that
shoot,
night.
my bad.
You need to fill me in. I was just excited because UNLV won, and I picked them as the underdog to get the win against Kansas.
Dude, yes.
What do I need to know about this game?
A lot, actually, dude. It was kind of a fun, weird game. So, like, I'm probably gonna go on my little rampage here, so just stop me. But so basically, like, KU actually looked pretty solid in the first half. However, like, this was like towards the end of the first half. Like, UNLV was like driving, but dude, like, literally the worst clock management I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, they had probably, I don't know if it was like 30 seconds left, and they were on like KU's like 25-yard line or whatever. And like I think they had a couple timeouts. I know they at least had one. And like the clock just kept running, and like all they needed to do was call timeout and just organize, and like they could have easily kicked a field goal. And like they just wasted like 20 seconds. And like basically by the time they snapped it, there's probably like 8 seconds left. So like I don't even know if they would have gotten a field goal off in time, but anywho, I wish I had their quarterback's name, but like he just lobs like a nice little wheel route. Like somehow he got it over like Kobe Bryant's hand. Also, shout out that guy. I love that name. KU's cornerback. Dude somehow just lobs it right over his head, and like they just score a touchdown on like a broken wheel route play. Like literally right as the time expired in the first half. So, and then literally it just went downhill from there for Kansas. Like, dude, Jalen Daniels he looked so bad, Brock. It was really hard to watch. Like he could not read a defense to save his life. And
yeah,
dude, like I also have like, obviously I'm on Twitter way too much, but like I think like I saw some Kansas fans were complaining about their OC, and like I think they kind of got a point too. Like some of the play calls, I mean, were just atrocious. Like I remember I don't know if it was the third quarter or not, but they had like first down play or whatever run gets stopped, like, and it was like 2nd and long. And then they run it 3rd and long, and they just run it again. It was just really bad.
Punting is winning.
Basically, yes. So sorry, I probably talked too much there, but it was their offense. I'm really concerned. I think West Virginia might take care of business this week, but we'll see.
UNLV was 3 of 3 on 4th down.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were. Yep.
That's good. That's going to win you some games, and it's crazy. Yeah. I'm looking at the stats. Kansas almost had over 100 more yards total than UNLV and still lost.
I totally forgot too. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter or not, but like Kansas actually probably should have won this game. Like UNLV fumbled, I think, in the 4th quarter, and like I think like literally the whole Kansas defense touched the ball and they didn't recover it. I don't know if you've seen that play, but it was there's no reason they should not have recovered that.
I'm seeing the play right now. That's rough. That's rough.
Really rough. Yep.
Also, Kansas had 9 penalties for 90 yards, 2 turnovers, both interceptions, and then somehow UNLV had less yards but still controlled the clock, had 3 or 4 more minutes of possession time than Kansas. So that I guess it's going to result in a loss for KU. They fall to 1-2, a team that a lot of people were picking to be underdogs, not underdogs, sleepers for the Big 12 title game. And again, stats-wise, okay, Daniels, of course, has the 2 interceptions, but had 150 yards, almost 80 more yards than the quarterback from UNLV, and they had 120 yards from Devin Neal. So maybe they have something on the offense, but it's not looking good for the Jayhawks. Yeah. And
I think I actually kind of agree with the Kansas fans on Twitter, which I usually don't agree with people on Twitter, but like I think their OC is actually like I'm kind of concerned just off of watching that second half. So I don't know though. We'll see. This is
does Kansas having a bad year? Let's say they go 6-6 or less. Like, let's say they miss a bowl game. Like, all hell breaks loose and they miss a bowl game. Does not fire because he's not going to get fired. No way. But does Leipold will it hurt his chances of getting a better job, or will it actually entice other schools to try to attack him now because Kansas is down?
Good question. Has he been getting like offers for better? I'm not even aware.
Well, I mean, he's a guy that I hear all the time.
All the time, yeah.
On short lists. Of course, the short lists are like 20 names, so they aren't really short lists because you get one head coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a situation that like a smaller team for the Big Ten that might be looking, or a smaller team from the SEC that might be looking for a long-term rebuild.
Yeah.
Could swoop in and go, hey, we're going to give you less than what we would have offered you the year before because of your performance, but you get to play coach in a conference that marketability wise will help with recruiting.
Yeah.
Of course, people that know football know that the Big 12 is just as competitive as the Big 10, but that's whatever.
Good true ball knower. That's right, Brock.
But maybe they can use that as leverage to lure him away from Kansas, which if that happens, Kansas is in a world of trouble.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some of these like big time though, like SEC schools, like I don't think they're gonna want to hire a coach who can't even make a bowl game in
that's a good point.
But maybe like I'm just throwing names out there. Sorry if you're a Mississippi State fan. Nothing against you guys, but like maybe a school like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean though.
Yep.
So yeah, hopefully there's no Mississippi State fans coming for me now. I'm sorry, guys.
Other games that happened this week. Shout out to you kind of being, I mean, there were some other people as well, but a lot of people maybe were hesitant to jump on the Alabama train just because of the new coaching hire and everything.
Dude, I love him, man.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Who it's him, and then it's funny because you were high on him heading into the season. Him and Jackson Dart right now are neck and neck, I feel like, for the Heisman Trophy right now.
Whoa, you're missing someone, Brock. You know who you're missing.
The Tennessee quarterback.
Thank you, Nico. Yes, thank you. There you go.
But I'm one that was saying Jackson Dart is going to win it. But right now, I think Milroe has got the most consecutive games of 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I don't know. There's some stat that people have said that I think every game this year he's had 2 passing and 2 rushing.
Huh? Really? Wait, sorry. What's going on my computer? 1 second. Yes, I want to make sure. Okay, I don't want to. I thought my computer's about it. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Every game this year he's had at least 2 passing and 2 rushing.
Wow. I feel like that USF game, like he was on the struggle bus. I didn't even realize he ended up getting that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, dude, he is really a good quarterback. I know a lot of people are probably knocking him just because, like, obviously he can run the ball, but some people question his throwing. But, dude, I mean, he was dotting up. And I mean, I don't know, Wisconsin's kind of been underperforming, and obviously Tyler Van Dyke got injured. But, I mean, he was dotting up that secondary, dude. I really think, he's a solid quarterback. And, dude, Kalen DeBoer, man, he'll find a way to get a good quarterback on his team. So, yeah, never count out the Tide.
Amen to that. And other games that went on, we mentioned Tennessee 71-0 against Kent State.
Dude, yes.
Dude, poor Kent State, man.
Yeah, that's
Kent
tough.
State.
Imagine getting your butt kicked in the first quarter and Tennessee's onside on you. I mean, that's just tough.
Up 30-0, and they go for the onside kick, which I don't get why they did that. That's something.
Awesome, dude. You got to catch them off guard. No one's expecting it.
I mean, literally nobody was expecting it, but good game by them, and they got a big one upcoming, and they're one of our games of the week, so we'll hit on them a little more.
Yep.
Missouri edges out Boston College 27-21. I mean, just a good game. Boston College is a good team this year. Nothing really too much to highlight on it, unless you got something that you want to hit on it.
Yeah, shout out Bill O'Brien making the boys some units this weekend. So that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. Oklahoma pretty much takes care of business against Tulane, 31-19. Great bounce back win for them after a disappointing performance against Houston. Of course, they're still 3-0, so a good week for them. Arkansas State, who travels to play our Cyclones this weekend, had a close loss against Michigan. 28-18 was the final score on that one. Michigan looks rough, and they got a big game this weekend.
Yeah. Real quick, dude. I think we should win, but dude, Arkansas State, I'm telling you, they're actually a very solid team. So like if there's any like Cyclone fans listening out there, like if this is like a close game, kind of late in the game, like literally do not panic. Like, and I know we should be beating Arkansas State, but dude, they got a good offense, man. They're gonna be a fun team to watch. So and then Michigan, we'll probably touch on them later in our game of the week. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough year for them actually. So
it's not looking good for them. They do have the advantage of being at home a lot. I mean, for half the year, so that helps because I do think they have a really good home field advantage. But all right, it's time to talk about the game that I don't know if I wanted to talk about this because I was told in high school never to second guess and change your picks on games of the week. And this was the one game that I did switch my pick on because I was like, there's no way that they go 0-3. Memphis upsets, not even upsets.
No.
Memphis takes care of Florida State 20-12. What is wrong with Florida State? What do they need to do?
They need to get new players. They suck, dude. They all suck. They're terrible. Actually, the defense is pretty solid, but they replaced the entire offense, dude. I mean, what are we watching out there? It's pathetic. Like I literally will slander DJ all the time, but dude, like there's so many guys like who just can't catch the ball on that team either. Like it literally every single one of their receivers, tight ends, like they just won't catch the ball. Yeah. So it's hard to watch. It really is. That is the last time I'm picking them, and I probably will keep saying that and somehow find a way to pick them. So
they're the definition of a rat line team.
They are, dude. It's just they're literally favored again this week. It's disgusting. So nasty.
That blows my mind that that's a thing.
It's nasty work, man. It's nasty. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Other games that went on this week that we want to hit on. Texas A&M 33-20 against Florida. It's time for Florida to move on, isn't it?
Dude, I don't know why I keep seeing like random like teams is like or like I'm like currently on Cal. I don't know. Have you been seeing like a bunch of Cal fans on Twitter?
I have not, honestly. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter a lot this week.
Okay.
So maybe that's because it's switched. I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure.
It's okay. Yeah. But anywho, like I was on like Florida fan Twitter there for a little bit and like literally I feel awful for them. They're all like, why is Graham Mertz still starting? I wish
they need to move on from him.
Why are we not starting? What's it like Lagway? Is that his
shoot. Yeah, let me look that up.
Yes, why is he not playing? Like he literally what did he throw for like 400 yards? I know they played Butthole State, whatever. Like a terrible team before. But like why is he not playing? Sorry, but like I am so confused, man. I don't know. It just blows my mind that Graham Mertz is still playing and starting quarterback in this.
It's not good.
Like, look at what Auburn did, bro. They benched Peyton Thorne and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Like their freshman quarterback went out and put up like 45 against I think. See, I keep forgetting. There's too many games, but like, I mean, Auburn looked good. They did it. So why can't Florida? I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's rough. Florida hasn't really, honestly, Florida really hasn't been good in it over a decade now.
Dude, yeah, they have not. They really have not, man.
Any other games from last week that you want to hit on? Because there's a couple non-sports, non-game related news that I feel like we should talk a little bit about.
Yeah, there definitely was. Oh, I wanted to touch on how the heck did West Virginia lose that? Did you see that?
Dude, I have no idea. Shout out West Virginia for finding new ways to lose.
I feel awful for it because
I don't.
Oh, Brock doesn't. Oh, I was pulling them because of Eat Bleep Pitt.
But
yeah.
It's West Virginia. They've upset me a lot.
Oh, Brock hates West Virginia.
Well, I mean, we drove all the way to Morgantown. Smelt nothing but cigarettes the whole time we were in West Virginia. Literally, like
Oh, man.
6 months after my dad stopped smoking, I forgot what cigarettes smelled like, and I almost threw up. I
You
was
got
so
reminded
sick.
real quick.
I was
Yeah.
so sick. And then P-Dad, Peyton Culp, almost gets in a fight as we're trying to leave, and I felt bad. I felt bad. I think it was you that had to like pull him away, but I was like,
yeah.
I was like, screw it, dude. If you're gonna get your butt kicked, I'm gonna leave. Like we'll leave you here in Morgantown.
I
I'm a
should have let him
terrible
fight,
friend.
man. It'd been a good memory. Yeah. Good times, man. Good times.
That was a good trip.
Not the game, but yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right.
trying to see here. Hold on. There's definitely a game I want to talk about. Oh, do you want to talk about UCF, TCU or not?
Oh yeah, what a finish.
Yeah, I know. I knew we were forgetting something, dude. That was crazy. I was kind of upset, but also though I got LSU, so I kind of felt bad. So that was a great game. I hope everyone was watching that one.
Amen. You kind of ruined it, which was fine.
I ruined it?
Yeah, you remember you sent me UCF
yeah,
in
dude,
all caps.
you're too slow, bro.
And my YouTube TV was like 5 seconds behind. I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah,
I think I sent you, they're going to find a new way to disappoint me, just like all my other teams that I picked, to win. And then as I sent that, the guy throws for a touchdown. I was like, oh, okay.
Never mind. Chase ruined it. Thanks, man. Yeah, my bad, dude.
Oh, no, you're good. So let's hit on some other non-game related news in the college football world. I feel like this is one that we should hit on for sure. The Pac-12 is not dead.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yep.
The Pac-12 adds Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State next year to be the Pac-6, basically. I wonder if they'll change their name to the Six-Pack.
Yep. They need to.
What are your thoughts on this move? I actually like the teams that they were able to pull. Maybe out of all of them, Colorado State might be the weakest, in my opinion. However, their basketball program, I will say, is a very competitive one. So I feel like Bowen Bourne, yep.
Yes,
Nico Medved, head coach.
Yes, that's right. Brock loves Nico.
Looking at this, I actually do like this being a competitive football conference. At the same time, I think it could be a very competitive basketball conference as well with the additions of Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. Can we get a team that doesn't have state, though?
Dude, you just stole my thunder.
Conference. That's what Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I was literally just going to say that. But I agree, Brock. I agree. Obviously, Colorado State, dude, yeah. That game versus Colorado was really annoying, by the way. But, yeah, I think it's a pretty respectable conference now, man. I mean, Boise State always, obviously, everyone knows they're always good at football. I think Fresno, I mean, they've been good. My boy Jake Hayner, gotta give him a shout out. Jake Hayner, they're solid. Obviously, the beat bad underdog pick by me, but they'll be competitive. San Diego State, they'll be like overall, like it's obviously like no big names, but like it's awesome. It's good news though, Brock. It's good news. I was kind of worried about them, so. It's nice now that Oregon State and Washington State get some buddies. So,
yeah, and Oregon State and Washington State are probably smiling because right now I think that they would be the tops, if not one of the top teams in the conference for football. So,
yes, yeah. Shout out Wazoo pulling it off this weekend, man.
Yeah, big win against Washington.
Big game. Yeah.
Any teams that you're kind of eyeing for potentially the Pac-12 to maybe take from? I'm assuming that they're going to be going after the Mountain West. I don't know if they would even attempt to offer to bring Utah or any of the Big 12 teams back. I don't know how that would work or if that's even possible. Any teams, though, that you have on your radar?
Yeah, see, I don't think it's going to be financially like possible to bring back any of those big names. I was wondering maybe if they would do Utah State to keep the state teams.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny. But I'm just trying to think of like other like Mountain West schools because I did see news about Air Force possibly joining what conference did I see? I saw them joining, maybe it was the American actually. I think that's what it was. So I think they're out. I'm just trying to think of other Mountain West schools at the moment. Yeah, I would maybe say Utah State when it started. I mean, Utah State, they had a great basketball program this past year. We'll talk about that in a couple months, but Yeah, I don't know. That might be the only school I can think of at the moment.
Do you think that this will result in some teams making the jump from the FCS to the FBS?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've already seen like a lot of it with like Kennesaw State. Who there's plenty like my team Jacksonville State. So yes, I think for sure. I think we'll probably see a lot more of it, and then yeah, dude, we could actually this could be such a long podcast, and because you would actually have bring a lot of good info about like just the financial and impact of a lot of this too, but. Yeah, I think we probably will see a couple more FCS teams. Like, I think it'd be nice, like, if we brought in like South Dakota State, North Dakota State, which I don't know if it'll ever happen. Brock probably knows a little bit more, but
I don't know anything of like actually it happening, but I do think that the Mountain West has an opportunity to make a jump at North Dakota State and South Dakota State now.
mhm,
Or I wonder if the Mountain West would be okay with just completely closing its doors and merging with the Pac-12, which if that happens, then they won't have to worry. Then I don't think more teams from the FCS will make the
true.
jump.
Yep.
But I think like the Mountain West should take this time to bring back Idaho,
Bring 'em back, yeah.
bring Montana, South Dakota State, and North Dakota State into their conference. Again, I don't know the logistics behind it and if it's even marketable for them because those are really, really small media markets.
Yeah.
North Dakota State and South Dakota State, I do think have a market for a conference like the Mountain West or even maybe the MAC or the American, depending on if they're wanting to expand as well.
Yeah.
Montana and Idaho obviously is very, very, very different. They're very small markets. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what the Mountain West will do because Mountain West, a lot of that's Boise State, San Diego State, and Fresno State, and
Yep.
Colorado State, respectfully. That's a big loss for them. And then you mentioned
Yeah.
Air Force moving as well. So
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, obviously, yeah, we respect Colorado State, but yeah, I mean, Boise, Fresno, and San Diego, like you said, Brock, I mean, those are kind of like the three kind of schools I think of, at least like when you think of like good Mountain West schools. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be kind of cool if they did merge with the Pac-12. Just kind of
mhm.
how that would look, just because obviously you'd bring in a lot more teams and stuff. But yeah, I'm not really sure who they're gonna target next, though. It'd be kind of fun to keep an eye out on that, though, for
Yeah,
sure.
because there's no way they're done. You can't stop
No,
at 6 if you're
no,
wanting to be
you can't
competitive.
stop at a six-pack. You gotta go 12-pack.
Amen.
Yep.
Uh, next thing I wanted to hit on, and I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. It's probably very small on
Yes,
your
I
screen.
did, I
So
did.
Tennessee, this was from Brent McMurphy on Twitter. Tennessee will add a 10% talent fee on all football tickets starting next season. This
Crazy.
fee will go to the players, helping fund the proposed revenue share with the players. University of Tennessee estimates a per seat increase of averaging around 4.5% for the entire stadium. So their tickets went up already last season, and now they're already projecting that they're going to increase their ticket sales prices to go up even more because they want to find a way to fund the athletes. This is just the beginning. I
Yeah,
guarantee you a lot of schools are going to take this and run with it as well,
yeah,
especially with how much the universities are going to want to, one, find a way to pay all their employees, and two, find a way to pay their now athletes, because that's coming at
yep,
some point. That's
yep,
coming sooner rather than later.
yeah,
Athletes are going to get paid by the university. So I feel like a lot of universities are going to take this opportunity to do this and be like, well, we have to because you guys want us to pay the athletes. So this is what we're going to do. And this is going to be their excuse for why they raise ticket prices. So what are your thoughts on this?
yeah,
And overall, what's your thoughts on this?
yeah, dude, it's the world of NIL, man. That's all I gotta say. It's just kinda sad what we're coming to, Brock. Um,
I'm
I
this is a
I
this is a great opportunity for Iowa State. I'm not going to lie, to finally establish, and I don't really care because I don't consume alcohol, but to bring alcohol into the
True,
stadiums.
actually, good point.
I have found out that a lot of the reasons why alcohol is not sold in state at Jack Trice or Hilton right now is because it's not. Jack Trice and Hilton aren't made to do that. I saw the beer lines at uh oh shoot, what was even the country singer that I had to work?
Oh, yeah, George Strait?
Yeah, George Strait. If that shows you I didn't really care about the concert, I was just there for a fun time, and when I was working the event. But the lines for that, I don't think they were really selling. I don't know how they were selling beer, but they had additional places to get beer at, and the lines were terrible and everything. So I think a lot of that has to do with how Jack Trice is kind of structured. So I think Jack Trice would have to go through a little bit of a renovation. I don't know the whole story or if that's 100% true, so don't quote me on that.
No, quote him. You heard him.
Yeah, quote me on that. But I feel like that's something that they could do to update. And then actually, you know what? If people want alcohol sales so bad in Jack Trice and Hilton, add a 10% talent fee to buy alcohol because you want beer so bad in the state.
People would, yeah.
And here's the best part is if that ever happens and they do that, people will still find a way to complain about it. And
they will.
That's my beef with this whole complaining about not having alcohol sales at Iowa State is the fact that once it happens, if it happens, whatever the price is, people will still complain about what the price of the alcohol is.
People complain about everything, man.
I wouldn't be shocked if concession stands, depending on where those funds go to. Again, I don't know where the funds for concession stands go to. I think some nonprofits or student orgs or whatever help out and they get some of the funds for that. But maybe there's a talent fee to get a clone cone at some point.
All right, I would pay for that. I would.
I would too.
Yeah.
But I think this is just the start, and I feel like universities are going to find new ways to bump up a little bit on the prices for things just to get extra funds for their athletes.
Yeah. I totally agree, Brock. This will definitely just be the beginning. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy, man. Like if you had told me this like 10 years ago, I would have been like, what in the world is going on? But
it could have been prevented.
Wait, what?
Could have been prevented if they would have just figured this out 10, 15 years ago when this was kind of already brought to the table.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to put my feet up and kind of see what happens next. Cause, I 100% agree, Brock. This is just the beginning. So
I'm not going to lie. I can't because of my job, but even after I'm done working in athletics, whenever that is, I don't think I'm still going to subscribe to an NIL thing because I am someone that doesn't think that we should harshly criticize college athletes to the point where it's like nasty. Like you've seen some of the nasty tweets that people send out and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen what you sent to Cole Netton, so.
The one time when I was like 13 years old and I didn't know what Twitter was and how it worked. That was great. But that's my favorite part is I love reading that tweet because it's such a 13-year-old like.
Oh, it is.
You can tell a 13-year-old tweeted it out.
We need to have that ready next episode, man.
Yeah, I'll bring that up. But back to what I was saying. Now, if you're donating and technically paying for some of these people's salaries, I don't feel bad. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because it's like because if you're paying for someone's salary, I'm sorry, like then you have the right to criticize. That's why people always criticize the coach first, because you're the ones. A lot of the ticket sales are going back into the athletic department to the coaches.
Yep. I know. It's just it's I don't know. I really don't like have like any like I don't even know how to phrase it, like hard opinions on it, I guess, or like sway one way. But yeah, I definitely see where a lot of people are coming from, and especially where you're coming from, Brock. So yeah,
I'm just annoyed because I feel like this could have been prevented a long time ago. But
yeah,
we'll see what college football looks like in a couple years.
Yeah, I know. Plus, yeah, I don't know. I mean, literally all of it is just like college football. I feel like, I mean, compared to all the other sports, like college football is way more like dominant and way more getting all the money, so.
Again, Kansas made more money off of football when they won 0 to 2 games than they did on basketball those years.
Which is crazy, man, because
TV contracts.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it is. So, yeah.
Let's get into our games of the week.
Pictures get me every time. Those are great, man.
I just love the popcorn head.
I know, dude. I'll never forget taking a picture of you and you pull that baby off and you're like, oh, there's a bunch of like kernels and stuff in my hair. Oops.
That was something I didn't think about when I did that. I think that was after we lost, and I was just like, "Yep, I'm depressed."
Yeah.
Another week we basically did the exact same thing record-wise, but yet we didn't make the same picks.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we do it again, Brock? Can we do it
No,
again?
I can guarantee you it will not happen this week.
Oh, okay.
Because I think there's only one game that we have, one or two at most games that we agree on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm excited to hear the picks, baby. Let's
All right. So first, we start off with another Friday night matchup. I love that there's always at least one good Friday night game.
Yeah, okay, wait. Can I cut you off? Did you see Nebraska? I don't know if you saw this today, but Nebraska's like literally not holding class in person. They're just doing online classes Friday.
Game's not until 7.
I know. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Shout out Nebraska.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you saw that, but anywho, sorry.
They're partying it like it's 1990 something whenever they won all those natties.
Yeah.
But anyways, this game's on Fox at 7 p.m. Number 22, Nebraska hosts number 24, Illinois. Both teams undefeated, looking to start 1-0 in Big Ten play. Then we got a big time. It's weird saying this. Big Ten matchup.
Yeah.
On Saturday to start off at 2:30. Not really any 11 a.m. games that, at least for games of the week. Maybe there's an underdog later in the show that we're going to talk about that happens at 11 a.m. But Michigan, number 18, Michigan hosts number 11, USC. It's in Ann Arbor. USC, though, probably the heavy favorite in that situation for a lot of people just because of how they've been playing and how Michigan has been playing. Oklahoma State hosts Utah at 3 o'clock on Fox. Number 14 versus number 12. This game, a lot of people have had circled on their calendar when the Big 12 Conference released their schedule because I feel like with Oklahoma State, this is a win and you're almost a lock for the Big 12 championship game. They play K-State the following week. So if they can come out 1-2 in that, I feel really good about their chances to make the Big 12 championship game. Utah, I think they have Cam Rising back from what I've heard. I think he's going to be playing this week. And they're coming off of a 38-21 win against Utah State on the road. So we'll see what they're able to do there. Oklahoma, number 15, and number 6, Tennessee. 3-0, 3-0 teams. Oklahoma struggled a little bit. Tennessee has beaten the crap out of a lot of teams.
Yeah.
We'll see what we got on our picks for that. And then that game's at 6:30 on ABC. And then we have a 6:30 game on NBC. Minnesota and Iowa. All right, Chase, let's get to your first pick here.
Okay. First pick. Actually, dude, I am gonna go Nebraska here, and then I'm gonna I know Brock doesn't bet, by the way. Brock does not bet. I'm making this point in here, but I actually would lay the points with Nebraska too. I really think they come out and just take it to Illinois. I know Brock's been on it, so I'm gonna jump on the train, but I really think Nebraska is for real, man. Like they're
starting 7-0, dude.
They really are. Like they have I know people talk about Pat Mahomes Jr., but like they got a really good defense as well. So I think this is a bad spot for Illinois. I like Nebraska big here.
Nebraska by at least 17.
I would not be surprised. Yep.
That's my pick.
Yep. I like it. Next game, Michigan USC. I know we touched on Michigan a little bit, dude, but until like I see better quarterback play from them, I'm gonna go with USC here. And that's really all I got for this. I just think USC is the better team. I don't really see Michigan getting better on offense.
So I was gonna take USC, and for some reason, I just feel like Michigan's gonna go into this game being like, okay, let's be like the teams that we used to destroy in the Big Ten championship game and go old-fashioned Big Ten West football. So I think this is actually going to be pretty
West football.
Big Ten West football. I know they're in the Big Ten East, but I think Michigan's going to try to control the ball as much as possible, and I'm actually going to take Michigan in a close one with the upset. I think a lot of people are on USC. But I think this is a good opportunity for Michigan to be like, welcome to the Big Ten. This is not always 98 to 99 scores.
Sure.
It's sometimes 10 to 17. Yeah. So Michigan in a close one.
I don't mind that, Brock. I like that there. Good thinking. We got next. Yeah. Okay. So, I originally was on Okie State, dude, and then I saw the craziest line movement I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know if it was because of the Cam Rising news or what, but yeah, the line basically jumped from Okie State favored by 3 to now being 2-point dogs at home. That is sus to me. That is really sus. So literally with that reason, I'm taking Utah. I really have no I won't break down the game for you at all, but that is so weird, man. I am trusting Vegas on this one. I'm gonna go with Kyle Whittingham, I guess, on the road. So
I smell a rat.
yeah, it's really weird. Really weird.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
On this one.
I hope Okie State wins, dude.
Yes.
I'm cheering for them big time. So
again, it's weird how Cam Rising, Utah is a college football playoff favorite with Cam Rising, and without him, they are a below 500 team.
They're bad, dude.
And
I honestly really thought they were gonna lose to Utah State this past weekend. I don't know how they pulled it out, but
I just don't think Oklahoma State fans are rabid. When they're really good, that fan base can get really loud. Yeah. And I think I think this game might be the game of the week, honestly.
Yeah.
For entertainment.
Good one. Yep.
So I'm going to go Oklahoma State in a close one. This is a mixture of me just wanting to stay loyal to the Big 12 teams that didn't leave us, as well as I just don't like Utah.
Dude, Utah, literally the worst fans I've ever seen in my life, dude. Wish nothing but bad things. But I didn't say that, but I did say that. Sorry, not sorry. Anywho, yes, like Brock said though, probably the game of the week for me too. Definitely. Actually, shoot, what time is the Clone game? 1?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm getting off topic again. Anywho, okay, next game. Oklahoma, Tennessee. Dude, I am disgusted saying this. I am absolutely disgusted as a longtime Tennessee Volunteer fan. Disgusted saying this. I'm going the Sooners. I cannot believe it, man.
Wow.
I'm going the Sooners. I don't know, man. Just I have a weird vibe about this game. Like Tennessee's been blowing everybody out. Oklahoma's kind of been on the struggle bus. I just feel like something's cooking in Norman on a Saturday night. I got a weird feeling, so I'm gonna go with the Sooners here. I hate it.
I agree with you with something's kind of fishy about this game. I'm still going to go Tennessee. I think it's going to be more like Oklahoma versus Houston, where Oklahoma plays the role of Houston, where they kind of rattle Tennessee a little bit. I think it's going to be a close game. No more than 7 points, but I think Tennessee does pull out the win.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Brock. I hope you're right. I feel like I'm cheering for a lot of your picks this week. This is weird. And then, actually, speaking of that, here's our last game, Minnesota, Iowa. I'm once again cheering for Brock's pick, but I will be on the Hawks here. I don't know. I feel like historically, Iowa's obviously dominated Minnesota. And especially what happened last year, dude. That team's gonna be so pissed off. So what Brock did. So I'm gonna go with the Hawks here. I can't believe I just said that, but
so I don't think either of these teams are really good. Honestly, Iowa's defense has started to shock me a little bit. You find a way to go over the top on them, and there's a good chance you're going to find a way to hit a home run play pretty easily compared to previous Iowa teams. Yeah. Iowa fans are still upset and still won't shut up about the stupid fair catch call. So they're thinking that they're going to walk into Minnesota and absolutely beat the crap out of Minnesota. There's a good chance that will happen. There's also a good chance that Minnesota beats the crap out of them and proves that they actually deserved the win last year against Iowa in Kinnick. So strictly off of the fact that I'm tired of hearing the stupid fair catch comments and all that, I'm going Minnesota to win this one. Row the boat. And go Minnesota, because I'm tired of hearing the stupid "it was a fair catch" call.
Oh, you're going to hear it a lot this weekend, so get used to it, Brock.
I hope they do it again. I hope Iowa finds a way to do an invalid fair catch call.
That would be great, man. That would be great. But yeah, looks like I'm cheering for 3 of Brock's picks here.
If we somehow have the same record.
Oh, is this possible? Hold on. Yes, it would be. Yes.
Yeah, because we just split the last 2.
Yeah, it's going to happen, dude.
You want to switch to Illinois so there's no way we have the same record?
Not really, dude. I feel good about Nebraska.
No, Nebraska by at least 17, man.
I do, man. I like them.
All right. Before we wrap up the show, we got our underdogs of the week. Not necessarily from at least my perspective, betting lines that we think will cover, more on the side of sometimes teams that we just think will pull off the upset compared to what maybe bettors and people acknowledge. For me, of course, I don't bet for obvious reasons, but it's still a way to weigh whether a team is favored or not, or the underdog or not. So that's how we basically choose our picks. So Chase, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm a pathetic 1-2, I think, on the year, so don't really listen to me. But I'm gonna take a fun route this week. Give me the Marshall Thundering Herd, Randy Moss's team plus 39.5. Actually, keep the points. They're winning out. No, just kidding. They're not. I really hope they win. That'd be freaking hilarious. But I don't know. I feel something weird about this game. I feel like Ohio State obviously has just been rolling. Also Ohio State's schedule, dude. What is this? They're playing a bunch of bum teams. So I don't know, man. I think it's the third game of just kind of playing a man team, and I could see them just kind of get sleepy here. And Marshall, obviously, is probably going to be their Super Bowl. So I don't know. I think we can cover the 39.5, Brock. I really do. So that's what I'm going to go with. So, anywho.
I think I'm trying reverse psychology this week.
Okay.
I'm really good at hyping up people and then them completely doing nothing and disappointing me. So for that reason, I am going against what I usually say about a certain quarterback. So I'm going Cal plus 2.5.
Oh, Brock is on Cal. Okay.
Cal is going to be not just covered. They're going to beat Florida State. Florida State's going to start 0-4. I think Cal is actually a decent team. I think that they would be able to compete. But most of this is basically reverse psychology. I'm trying to figure out if I'm the reason that DJ sucks, and if DJ, which I found out DJ Uyunglele, DJ stands for Daniel Jones, but we'll see if DJ is able to turn it around this week. But I think if everything keeps going the way it does, Cal's going to start 4-0, and Florida State's going to drop to 0-4.
Dude, there's just no reason that Cal should not be favored here. Zero reason. The sports books are just like, they're just arrogant and stubborn, and no reason, man. But I literally, Cal is a good football team, though. Like, I would agree, Brock. They should win. They should win.
So that's who I'm going to pick. We'll see what happens this weekend. We got some football games. You're not tailgating, right? Because you probably have to work before the game.
I actually don't have to work. I don't really know my plans at the moment, though. I'm up in the air. Might be hanging out with my boy Chisholm. I know he's back this weekend. So.
Oh, James is back in town?
Mr. James. Yep. So I don't know if I'm hanging out with him or not, but I'm up in the air. So I should
go into the game, though?
Yes. Yep.
So I think is it supposed to be rainy?
Yeah, I did see that. Not very excited about that, but
shout out me having the opportunity to work inside.
Yeah, I might work with you.
I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully our clones get the dub, start 3-0 on the year, as well as
yes. Oh, I was just gonna say, don't be mad if it's a close game, okay? Put some respect on Arkansas State. So
I respect that, and then let's root for my teams in the games of the week to go undefeated. Since Chase hates every team basically that he's picked.
Yep. I'm rooting for Brock.
We'll see what happens, though. Enjoy the games. Hopefully it's similar to last week where they actually shock me a little more and are a little bit more impressive of games and entertainment. For Chase, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that was a good episode, so that's all I got.
Perfect. We talked a little bit about Tennessee adding the talent fee to their season tickets, as well as the new 6-pack, as we're going to call it, in the future, the new Pac-12 Conference with the additions of Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State, and who am I forgetting? San Diego State.
San Diego State, yes. Thank you. Sorry, Aztecs.
And then we covered a little bit about last week's games and gave you guys our games of the week and underdog of the week as well. So for Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Bierman. Make sure to follow, subscribe, like, comment, whatever you need to do to support us. We appreciate all the support that you give us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud for the audio-only version of this show. live streams or replay versions on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and then on social media everywhere else at 515 Podcast. So again, for Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Bierman. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll see you next week.